G'day guys, Matt from Turbosmart here, and today we're going to be talking about the warranty provided with your new Turbosmart Turbo, or more accurately, how to avoid voiding the warranty on your new Turbosmart turbocharger. So you've just made the great decision and you've purchased yourself one of these brand new Turbosmart turbochargers and you're all set to start building boost. But before you hit the key on the ignition and send boost pressure to the moon, let's go through a few do's and don'ts on any new turbo install. So the first thing that's going to get you banned from Boost Club and void your warranty is going in dry. Can't stress it enough guys, there's always time for lubricant. So check your oil supply lines, filters and feed. Now go back and check them again. Inadequate lubrication is the single most common form of turbocharger failure. And yes, when it comes back to us, we can tell. Failure modes for turbochargers are well documented and pretty easy to identify. Don't believe me? Ask Google, he knows. Now the second rule of Boost Club is read the instructions. No really, read them. They're right here, in the box, with your turbo. Read them, then follow the link and register your turbo to get access to the full warranty period, along with service updates, exclusive offers, and in-depth manuals and troubleshooting guides. The third rule of Boost Club is to know your limits. Always set up a boost cut. We all make mistakes occasionally. Don't let this one be yours. Rule number 4, turbo eats rag. Yeah, don't be that guy. Check your intake pipe and make sure there's nothing left in the pipework that your turbo will consume on startup. Foreign object damage is one of the most common forms of turbocharger failure, and it can really be avoided simply by just taking a moment to have a deep breath and double check that nothing is going to end up getting sucked into your turbo that shouldn't. Rule number 5, what goes up must come down. You see, oil drainage is important. Oil doesn't actually come out of the bearing housing under any pressure the way it goes in. It needs a good reason to leave, so give it one. Now what I mean by this is use good fittings and a drain hose with a large internal diameter and make sure it's above your sump. You see, gravity is the only thing that's encouraging oil to leave your turbo, so make sure it's working for you. But what if your turbo is too low and is mounted below the sump? Well, ask your mate Google about a scavenge pump. They're a thing for a reason. Now, rule number 6. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Did your previous turbocharger disassemble itself and spread out across the charge pipe, the intercooler, the oil system and the exhaust while you weren't looking? Well, it's best to check all this out and clean it. Then double check it and clean it again, because leftover debris will cause havoc and really ruin your day. Clean the entire system thoroughly. Trust me, it's worth it. While we're talking about cleanliness, our 7th rule of Boost Club is change your oil. You see, old contaminated oil is a very common cause of turbocharger failure. That black soot in the oil when you drop it out of the sump during an oil change is caused by very fine particles of carbon building up in the oil. Now, not only does this carbon cause the oil to turn black, it also turns the oil into a very fine abrasive that over time erodes and polishes the turbo bearing surfaces, causing premature turbo failure. Regular oil changes are like therapy, but cheaper. Rule number 8, leaky pipe syndrome. That's right, intercooler clamps, charge pipes and hoses are the #1 practical reason that turbochargers don't live up to expectations. You've paid good money for your new, lovely collection of boost. Make sure it stays where it belongs. Check every clamp is in good condition and tightened to spec. Make sure those pretty looking hoses have no leaks and are serviceable, and there's no old strange looking stains near the weld seals of your intercooler, because guess what they are? They are boost escaping. Rule number 9, pull it before you drill it. This one's important. If you're going to make use of the speed sensor port and install a turbo speed sensor, remember, it doesn't matter how experienced you are with a drill bit, the compressor cover needs to be removed from the turbo prior to drilling out the cover to receive the sensor. It's important. Rule number 10. Did I mention oil supply yet? I did, didn't I? Well, guess what? I'm going to say it again. Oil supply, oil supply, oil supply. Oil supply or lack thereof is the #1 cause of turbo failure. Turbosmart does recommend new oil supply lines for every new turbo install. Why? Because low oil supply is also known as turbo death. Now on to rule number 11 of the 10 rules of Boost Club. Tell your friends about Boost Club. If you install a new Turbosmart turbocharger and you do not post to social media, did you really install a Turbosmart turbocharger? Well, there you have it, the top 10 tips on how to keep both your turbo and its warranty intact. For more tips and helpful advice on all things Boost, ring the bell here on YouTube and subscribe to Turbosmart on all the socials. I'm Matt from Turbosmart, and I'll see you next time.